questions 11. Write down two functions. One is a function of h. Another one is composite function gx. Question asks you what is the function of g. What is gx? First of all, to solve these questions, you need to state that y is equals to x plus 3 or equals to hx. So you substitute inside g x plus 3 equals to 2x minus 1. And the x equals to y minus 3, so you substitute the x from here. The x is equals to y minus 3. You substitute the x inside here, x plus 3, so g y equals to 2 y minus 3. This one also, and minus 1. So g y equals to 2y minus 6 minus 1 equals to 2y minus 7. Therefore, the y actually can later become x. You replace x inside. So, therefore, gx is equals to 2x minus 7. So this is the answer for questions number 11. It is same with the questions number 10, but the finding method is different. The questions number 10, you have a gh, and then they ask you what is the h here. And this one is opposite. They will ask you what is the g function of g. They give you the information of the function of h. Question 12. You need to solve the inverse function. Fx, the function of f, 2x minus 1. And then also you have another function gx, function of g, 3x plus 2. And then what is the inverse function of f, the part 1? So it's very simple. To solve the inverse function, you make the fx become x, and then the x become inverse function of minus x. So, inverse function of x, then minus 1. So 2f minus this one, inverse function, equals to x plus 1. So f minus 1x, that means the inverse function is equals to x plus 1 divided by 2. So this is the answer for part 1. For part 2, what is the inverse function of g with x equals to 4? To find this, first you need to find what is the inverse function of g first. First you need to find what is the inverse function of g. Same, your gx become variable of x, then equals to 3g minus 1x plus 2. Is it 2? 2. So your g minus 1x is equals to x minus 2 divided by 3. Not yet, because they want you to find out what is the inverse function of g with the variable x equals to 4. So g minus 1, 4 is equals to, you substitute inside, 4 minus 2 divided by 3. So it's 2 over 3. So this is the answer for A and B in questions 12. Questions 13, you have a figure, 3 sets in a mapping diagram, set A, set B, and set C. A, B, and C. So the mapping is here. The arrow go for the left hand side. Here is M, here is N, and you have arrow go another side, go to the right hand side. X, Y, and Z. Then from X to Y is a function of F. And then from Z to Y, the set C to set B is the function of G. Okay, given the fx, the function of f is 1 over 2x minus 1. So x cannot be equals to p. And then the gx, the function of g, the function of g with the variable of z equals to 1 plus 4z. And first question, what is p? If the x is equals to p means that the whole function is undefined. That's why your 2 substitute x equals to p minus 1. The whole thing here cannot equals to 0, because when this equals to 0 means 1 divided by 0 equals to infinity, undefined function. So your p is equals to 1 over 2. This is the first part, the part A answer. Second part B, you need to find answer for 2 questions, the mix of the composite and inverse function. The first one is fg minus 1 x. Right, find out what, of course, when you're talking about x means that the variable x should be replaced by g. Should be replace the z inside the function g. So before that, just find out what is the inverse function of g first. Just find out what is the inverse function of g first. So still the same. You make it gz become z, variable z, and then 1 plus 4. The z here become inverse function g with the variable z. So the answer for g minus 1z is equals to z minus 1 divided by 4. So this is the first thing. And then if inverse function of g with the variable z is equals to z minus 1 divided by 4, so with the variable x, then it should be x minus 1 divided by 4. Then composite function, you need to substitute this x minus 1 inside this composite function. F g minus 1x is equals to f x minus 1 divided by 4. It as a variable inside the function f. So also equals to 1 divided by 2x minus 1, 4 minus 1. So also equals to 1. This and this can simplify, so become x minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1. So also equals to 1 x minus 1 minus 2 over 2. So it's equals to 2x divided by x minus 3. So this is the answer for the first part of B. And don't forget is you need to write down some condition. Your x cannot be defined if x equals to 3, because when you put 3 inside here, it will become 2 divided by 0, then become infinity. So that's why this is the condition. Don't forget to write. Put a comma here. Let's continue with the part B, second questions. What is the composite function with function of g and inverse function of f with a variable 2? So to find what is the inverse function of f, we need to write down the procedure same like just the question 11s. So your fx will become an x. So 1 over 2, your x becomes an inverse function of f minus 1. So here this part, the denominator you move to the left hand side, and the x here you move to the right hand side. Okay, it will become this way. Minus x equals to 1 over x minus 1. Plus 1. Plus 1. Don't forget. And from here, 2f minus 1x, the inverse function is equals to 1 plus x over x. So your inverse function of x is equals to 1 plus x divided by 2x. What if the variable x is equals to 2? So should be 1 plus 2 divided by 2 times 2. So should be equals to 3 over 4. After you get this, find out what is the composite function. The inverse function of f with variable equals to 2 can be written in this way. The gf minus 1, 2 is equals to g 3 over 4. So what is the function of g? G 3 over 4 also equals to 1 plus 4z. The z now is a 3 over 4. 3 over 4. So should be equals to 4 answer. So this is the question for part B, the second questions. The answer for the second questions. The last question, part C. What is m and n? If you have the x inside the set, there is quarter, 1 over 4. Okay, but from x to y actually is a function of f. So f with the x is equals to quarter over 4. This is the first part of the first question of the part C. What is m? Equals to m. So your m is equals to 1 over 2x minus 1 with x is equals to 1 over 4. So you just substitute inside. M is equals to 1, 2 times 1 over 4 minus 1. Then the answer should be equals to we just do more steps. So equals to 1 over 1 over 2 minus 1. So should be equals to minus 2 because 1 divided by negative 1 over 2. So this is the answer for m. And now what is n? However, the point is going here. That means the function of g with the variable of n equals to m. So to solve this, we need to use g, the function of gz. So, however, the variable z inside the function of g is replaced by n. So it's equals to m. So 1 plus 4n, the z replaced. So this is the part C, last questions. Okay, the answer 1 plus 4n equals to m. We have m here, m is equals to what? Minus 2. So 1 plus 4n equals to minus 2. So 4n equals to, you move here, become minus 1, negative 3. n is equals to minus 3 over 4. So this is a long question for question 13. Questions number 14. From x to y, this is the diagram. Y, the codomain, the function, you have m plus 1 divided by x minus 3. And then from 2, we have a point linked to 5. The question asks what is the state the value of k. The fx, the function of x, m plus 1, x minus 3. And x cannot be equals to k. So if the whole thing here is 0, then the whole function is undefined. So k minus 3 is equals to 0. Cannot be 0, the denominator here. So k is equals to 3. So this is the answer for question 14, part 1, A. And for B, find the value of m. You can see here the f with the variable 2, part B, f with the variable 2 equals to 5. So fx equals to m plus 1 divided by x minus 3. M plus 1, the x here is 2. So 2 minus 3 equals to 5. The final answer is m plus 1 equals to minus 5. And then m is equals to minus 6. So this is the answer for question 14, part B. Now we come to part C. For last part of the question C, what you find the m minus 6, then you substitute in this function of f. So your fx is minus 5x minus 3 plus minus 6 plus 1 minus 5. So to make it easier, so you try to rewrite the negative form into the positive form, become 3 minus x. So the question asks what is minus 3 with the variable minus 3 inside the inverse function f. So to find this one, we need to change the function f into the inverse function of f. So your fx become x, and then 5, then your x become inverse function of f. So from here, this one you move to the the denominator you move to the left hand side, 3 minus f, then equals to 5 divided by x. So this is you try to switch the numerator and denominator, and from here you move to the inverse function of f, you move to the right hand side, then you get positive inverse function of f, and this one you move to the left hand side, become 3 minus 5x, also equals to 3x minus 5 divided by x. So if you have minus 3, the x minus 3, so is equals to 3 times minus 3 minus 5 divided by 3, so is minus 14 over 3, negative 14 over 3. So this is questions number 14, the whole part. The questions number 14. Okay, for questions number 15, find the composite function. First, write down the three functions, f, g, and h. So I write in this way: 2x minus 3, and then gx is x, equals to x plus 2 plus 1. Then the function h is x minus m divided by k. And okay, find out what is first part. Find out what is a composite function with inverse function of f. Inside there you have gx here. So to find out this, you find out what is the inverse function of f first. The fx become the function become the x, and then the x become the inverse function of f minus 3. So your inverse function of f is equals to x plus 3. Move to left hand side, become addition divided by 2. And from here, if you want to find this composite function, your f minus 1 gx is equals to what? Is f minus 1 x plus 2 x over 2 plus 1, so is equals to, substitute inside here the whole thing, x plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 divided by 2. So also equals to, you can see here, x plus 2 over 2 plus 6 over 2, then the whole thing divided by 2. And when I come to here, you get f1 minus f minus 1, the inverse function of f, composite with a function of g, is equals to x plus 8 over 2 times 1 over 2. So it's equals to x plus 8 divided by 4. And you try to simplify it, you get x over 4 plus 2. So this is the answer for the first part, 15a. Then for B, part B, they ask for, this one is this one is h minus 1, the inverse function. You have this one is 4x plus 5. And for next question, the part B, they give you the inverse function of h equals to x minus m over k. To find this, you need to find out, you need to do the comparison. What is the inverse function of h? Inverse function of h, same, your function of h become x variable, and then 4 times your x become inverse function of h, then plus 5, and then the inverse function of h is x minus 5 divided by 4. So do the comparison. You see that the m is equals to, the m is equals to 5 minus m is equals to minus 5, hence m equals to 5. And then another one is k equals to 4. So this is the answer for question number 15, A and B. Press like, share and subscribe button if you like this video.